So let's jump in. This is Pacer Classic. Once again, shoutouts to Rainmaker GG for the review key. And yeah, I haven't played an F-Zero style game in a long time. There's a bunch that I've always wanted to check out. Fast RMX, you know, these other kind of like F-Zero inspired games, but this one looks pretty cool. This one looks pretty slick. This is indeed my first time. So yes, I should probably try to get good. Let's do the training. And there we go. Nice and simple. Turning grounds. Yep, I could probably stand to learn a thing or two. To learn the basics of the mechanics. You got it. This game, I think, originally came out in 2017, but I think the classic edition that I'm playing right now came out like a year or two ago. Performance lock. So I guess this means that yes, we can't make any alterations right now because it's the tutorial. Fair. But yeah, sure enough, there are ways where you can tweak your loadout for a given challenge. No, this game looks really cool. I haven't really looked up how the game was received. If the reception was like totally positive, or if some people loved it, some people not so much. No idea what to expect here. All I know is that it looks badass. And when I saw there was a review key option for it, I said, I'll put my name in. This game looks sick. By the way, there's no audio so far. A little bit concerning. I'm not sure if we should be hearing something. No, I mean, it looks pretty. Looks real pretty. Once we get into the game, I'm hoping we'll hear something. I'm concerned I'm still not hearing anything. You guys aren't hearing anything either, are you? Uh-oh. That makes me nervous. It looks so pretty. But I should definitely be hearing something. You can hear me talking, but the game... Alright. It couldn't be that simple, right? It couldn't be that simple. Let's go back to the options. There wasn't an option that I saw, at least, that was about, like, audio device. So let's take a look at the volume mixer. And let's see. Can I do anything with this? I scroll up. I'm able to see. So yes, if I do this, that comes through. Good. I don't know if I've had this problem before, where a game just doesn't make music, doesn't make noise. Let me close the game. What did you do different, Alex? I don't know. I had absolutely clicked into the game. But maybe it was like it lost focus and didn't regain it fully when I clicked. I don't know. Somehow it got silly. But now it's good. We can hear things again. Oh. Uh-oh. But now my controller's being weird. Okay, there we go. It's a little squirrely. But we got it. Let's hold the music. Lower the music a little bit more. Probably lower these things too. Voice is probably okay. We gotta sweet. You gotta romance the game. That's right. All right, let's try that again. So, all right, that was the quick test. That clearly I failed. Clearly I failed the test. All right. But now we got it. So let's see what we almost missed from the intro cutscene. F-Zero fucking sound. That's right. I'm glad we got there. Together. Thank you for your patience. Let me know if the audio balance is, you know, imbalanced. If it needs to be louder. I was pretty aggressive in lowering things. Kind of chill right now. There's no dialogue, so maybe there's not much to say. Maybe we're just admiring how pretty this is. I was waiting for like a good afternoon, racers. We got a fresh new slate of trainees about to start. Let's see how it goes. Let's welcome our brand new racer, Alex Q Super Hobbit. No applause with this one. He must be some short little shitter. You know, I was waiting for like that kind of thing. Anyway, let's jump in. Oh, let's get ready to Pacer. Doesn't quite have the same ring to it, does it?
3, 2, 1.
All right, that's the voiceover we get. All right. So, yes. So the tutorial is in the bottom right-hand corner. You'll get a little blip. You'll get a little blip that tells you like, oh, press this button. Oh yeah, right there. I use the air brake poorly to try to make a turn very good. I don't think I got any weapons. Yeah, I have no weapons right now. Yeah, that guy's flying all over the place. This is a very pretty game. It looks really good. Here, I'll get one of these things. That's what I got. Oh, no, that was more shield. Yeah, that was just more shield. So maybe there's no weapons yet. There's hell. Yeah. So these contribute to your shield. What's this gonna do? It's just a boost. Just go fast. Going fast is kind of how it goes. Now in F-Zero, there is that spin attack that you can do sometimes. At least like in F-Zero GX, you have that wild-ass spin attack. So I don't have one of those, obviously. So right now, you're limited to only the weapons you can scrounge up in the battlefield. In the racetrack. So, good personal best. Good peeb. We're all being too nice right now. We're all being too nice, and we're only, just racing around each other. Nobody's getting blown up right now. I mentioned that a week or two ago we played Wreckfest 2, and I really enjoyed that game. And in that game, there were all kinds of destructive opportunities to blow shit up and blast the shit out of other racers. So, I feel like that's the expectation now, is wanton violence for no reason. When I'm denied the opportunity for violence, it feels just kind of empty. I feel a little bit empty inside, So I'm not gonna go down the middle like last time and just run into the wall. Let me know if the game is, if the stream rather is struggling at all, if OBS is having a hard time or dropping frames at all. But I think we should be in pretty okay shape. Like I'm maybe leaning on the air brake too hard and it slows me down.
Finish.
Like at third place, not too bad, not too bad. We got Messi over on YouTube. What's up, bud? What if he just said boogity boogity boogity? Boys, let's go racing. So my name 689976114. Yo, way to like dox my social security number, bro. What the hell? Wait, yeah. What number could that be? Maybe that. Yeah, if it's not my social security number, we could say it's my some kind of sequence of my DNA, maybe, or yeah, some kind of like numeric-ified representation of my blood type or shit. Oh, guns ready. Here, now we get to learn how to shoot. There we go. Destroy opponent's craft as often as you can. Don't have to ask me twice. Got either creating and applying a weapons loadout. Good to know. Go for the weapons option. All right, weapons. Create a new loadout. Okay. How do I create a new loadout? Let me guess. Do I press create loadout? Yes, we do. Gotta give it a name. Loadout name. Tutorial loadout. Yes. Enter. Enter. Yes. How do I... Okay, loadout, yes. How do I say... Alright, good. How do I say yes? Let's make it happen. Loadout name. Do I go over... I don't actually have a mouse right now. The mouse is like invisible. The game gets very weird when you bounce back and forth between mouse and keyboard. Or mouse and gamepad, rather. What can I do about this? Start. Back to keyboard. Still don't have a cursor on screen. It's escape, right click, space, what will it take to make you happy, game? Yes, yes. So now that's being... Alright, can I press this button, this button, this button? I'll press any button. What if I press this? That's the Windows button. Don't press that, Alex. That you don't want that. Yeah, it's I think I gotta kill the game. I think it's like I've gotten into some kind of UI soft lock. I gotta kill it. It's being a little scrungy. So right from the get-go, we're having some technical issues from time to time. You know, when we first launched it, there was just no sound, which was bizarre. And it really, really does not like you doing any sort of swapping between mouse and keyboard and gamepad. But at the same time, when you're typing in a loadout name, which it requires you to do, it's a hard one to get away from, unfortunately. Connecting to service. I wonder how I can change my sign-in name. My sign-in name is this like series of numbers. Actually, I think I know. I might know the answer to that question. Is that something here? The and this thing maybe? Count. General. It does not say. I'm thinking like, yeah, is there a way where I could like change my name, my dude's name from series of numbers? It doesn't say anything on there. Okay. Yeah, it's worth a shot. All right, so let's go career, training. Yes, training, and then the gun's ready. Right. Okay. So for weapons, yes. Okay, create loadout. All right. What if loadout name. Here's the thing. How do you type it in with just gamepad? You've got to go to mouse keyboard, right? Unless I'm like losing my shit. So I'll say tutorial, loadout, enter. Good. Space. Enter. Escape. We good? Enter. Still... Oh, okay, tab. Oh, maybe tab is like how you get out of this hell. Okay. Oh, we have a cursor now, though. Okay, I have a cursor this time. So if I say yes, loadout name. Yes. Yes. Good. Yep. Make it happen. Save it. Yes. Loadout name. Create the loadout. Yes. This might be one of those where the tutorial just does not work. This might be as far as we get in the tutorials. It's a UI, it's a puzzle game. That's right, it's a puzzle game, yeah. The tutorials just might not function after that first one. I mean, the races worked fine. The racing is great. It'd be nice to like go through the tutorial the way you're expected to. But oh man, escape also not working, back not working. If I go back to mouse to gamepad, that is. What do you want from me? What do you expect from me, game? What is it that is so unsatisfactory? There's something that is it like nothing is satisfying it, and there's no way to go back. That's the evil with all this, is there's no back button. So you can only satisfy it, and it will not tell you how to satisfy. Maybe is it too long? Test. Enter. All right, fine. Maybe that's my B. Maybe, you know what? Maybe it was the space. Maybe special characters are a big no-no. White space characters are a big no-no. Then fucking tell me, bro. Then fucking tell me. Come on. This is like amateur hour levels of UI shit, all right? I'm a software guy. I know how this works, how it should work, rather. We got there. We fucking got there, man. Goddamn. Any weapon can be equipped in either slot. All right. So they say lefty gets the nano rocket. You got it, bro. So left weapon, nano rocket. Bam. All right. Yes. We good? Is that it? Yes. Okay. And then this weapon behavior, apparently. So there's modifications, more damage, more ammunition, disruption, each the target, blah, 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 blah. Each weapon can have up to 2 modifications. So for left mod 1, look at the behaviors. Rail-guided launch is free for now, so equip it to boost the speed of your rocket. So left mod 1, rail-guided launch, they're making it real easy for me, so there we go. Repeat the same for the right weapon. Not all slots have to be assigned. When you're done, press back. All right. So they really want me to have that nano rocket with the cool launching thingy. And then a second mod. Of course, I don't have a ton of credits. This one was free. I don't have a ton of monies right now. In fact, I have very little monies, and I can afford none of these right now. That's fine. That's fine. So let's look at the right weapon then. We I guess already have the nano rockets. Gauss cannon sounds cool. Pulse blast, that sounds cool. Shoves opponents out of the way. Drop mines now, which I'm sure I can drive into and fuck my own shit with, so I'd rather not. Disorienting flash, cloak. There's quite a bit of them here. Wow, tanks, swarm, shockwave. Track wide, forward moving. Small damage and disables boosts. Damage your target while restoring your own shield. This is like the green shells from Mario Kart. That's pretty cool. Hitting from opponents and incoming attacks. That all does sound pretty cool. Rapid fire cannon does sound pretty cool too. Not a lot of damage, but it is a disruption. So let's be disruptive. A disruptive kind of guy. These are all too expensive, as you can imagine. We're good. Loadout list. You can see your created loadout. That's it. That's it. All right. And if you give it a special character or a white space character, we will personally bring down the goddamn house. You will not be allowed to scratch your own butthole in the slightest ways. There we go. Next event. That's right. Can I look at the other things? Cosmetics, performance. No, you cannot. Select your loadouts. So, performance, none of that shit. But this one, we got that test loadout. There we go, baby. There we go. All right, all right. So we learned that the weapon buttons, a left and right button. Got randomly loud suddenly for a moment there. We're in ice mode now. What is the Awakened Cthulhu channel point redemption? I mean, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's exactly what it says in the channel description, or in the redemption description. And if you read it closely, it really itemizes it pretty well. It kind of goes down the list of what I will do. And yeah, sure enough, I will venture into the forbidden city of Rallier, and I will I'll consult the ancient texts and utter the black incantation to usher the entire universe into a world of unknown darkness. And Cthulhu Fatagan and tentacles sprout out of my eyes and my ears, and black ooze seeps out of every open orifice. It's pretty much what it sounds like. Why it costs 1 billion channel points? Well, you see, the average human lifespan is something around 2.5 billion seconds. That's about the average lifespan. So literally, it's impossible for somebody to get that many channel points. So I just wanted something funny. I just wanted something funny and silly to put in the channel description, in the channel point redemptions. That was impossible, but not something predictable like Alex deletes his channel or eats his own shit. So
3, 2.
It was me being a silly. Oh, wrong button, wrong button. I got excited. Pressing wrong buttons. You know how it is. Right. So those are the weapons. I want the weapons. It's dropping mines. I want that. Okay, no, I don't. Oh, I apparently got something. That's the gun. That's the pulse gun thingy. I apparently have the missiles as well. It fires the missiles. I mean, I do kind of wish that they were still in the form of in the form of banana peels and Koopa shells. You know, I feel like that's more my speed, generally speaking. Don't you tether me, bro. It's kind of cringe tethering somebody in today's day and age. In today's highly in today's highly charged political environments. Ouch. He banged my flash. He banged my ass. Missed that one. Oh, I probably should have gotten that shield re-enabling. I'm always a little bit disappointed. I'm always hoping that those little boost pads will also do it like a jump, like a cool jump. It says I'm in first place. That can't be real. Chat, is this real? That can't be real. Oh, it's number of kills. We're not trying to go fast. We're trying to kill people. So yes, it's real insofar as nobody has killed yet. We're all being too nice. Now I'm getting like fucking blasted. I'm getting booty blasted with my shield. So maybe I shouldn't be going too fast, because if I get too fast, then I'm not gonna be able to like follow up at all. Yeah, I got exploded. So some guy got actually a double kill. A little bit of a rejuvenation. I think I did get a single kill just now. A little bit more of the juice. It's weird because when you get ammo, it seems like you get ammo for both weapons. That was a kill as well. You get ammo for both weapons, so you have to kind of like choose which one you want to go for. And this one does more damage no matter how you cut it. Left one, that is. The pulse rifle thing is cool, but it's not nearly as flashy. Therefore, I'm less inclined to use it if it's less sexy. It's a little bit of a bummer that it's like a shared ammo pool. I would maybe prefer it was different ammo pools, but I guess it like forces you to be strategic. Yeah, the cloaking device thingy forces you to be strategic and about like you know in which situation does weapon number 1 or weapon number 2 make more sense. Missed. Oh, that guy slurped me really good. He was giving me the big suck. I bet that, what is it? I bet that tether ability is pretty sweet. Oh, that's a mine. I think I'm like guaranteed dead. Oh, there's a little bit of juice. So it locks on. I guess the idea is you can blow them up with like quick weapons, probably. My health is at 1 HP.
Health critical.
Health critical. You don't say. Health 1. You're telling me that 1 HP is bad? You're telling me it's bad to be to be on death's door? And of course, there's nobody around me. Yeah, I think I was going too fast. Oh, but we're back. Okay, so we're not dead. Oh, it is still too loud? Okay, let's lower it down a bit. Is it the sound effects or the music? Probably the sound effects, I'd guess. It's both. Oh, good to know. Thank you. So the voice a bit as well. And resume. All right. So now I gotta find another willing or unwilling subject. I see in the volume picture it's still a bit much. Use it up that way. Games being too loud. Games being too loud in 2025. What a concept. Now, granted, this game came out in 2017 originally. It was not enough to kill. But it was enough to make him feel something. Feel a certain kind of way. Oh, that was... I way missed that one. So maybe what I should be doing is... like, picking a target and just continuing to bully them. It's not as fun, though. I want to, like, go fast and kill. Can I kill and go fast? Is it acceptable to want to cause violence and also be good at all the things? You know, kill the bad guys and go fast and make it look really cool. So I was in, I guess, ultimately second place. Ultimately second place by number of kills. Now, one guy got 4 kills, and he didn't die once. What a stud. Because yeah, ultimately, with the races, presumably you're gonna be incentivized to go fast and to get lots of kills and shit like that. Last position is limited. Try to keep up. You got it. Great performance loadouts. Okay. So we know how this is gonna go. Performance, create a new loadout. Yep. Name it. Test 2, because if I do it anything more elaborate than that, I will be punished horribly. 5 performance modification categories. Engine handling, braking, anti-gravity, and defense. Select engine and go for the tuning acceleration mod. They're making my choices for me. That's nice and simple for now. Let's see your created loadout. Okay, was that it? No, that was really it? Alright, that was it. Training complete. Alright, very good. And so you go for this one. That's kind of cool. Long range, defensive, disruptive, track control. And then the test one. Does it say what these things do? Like, can I get like a preview that says what long range is? It's not. We'll do disruptive. No, we'll try each one little by little. I'll try long range first. This one is survive for 270 seconds. 10 pilots. Average lap time 40. Probably not minutes, probably seconds. 40 minutes, can you imagine? Go and jump in. I do want to make my ship look pretty at some point. One thing I do want to check real quick. Oops. There we go. Now it should be good. Come on. Oh, don't do this to me, man. Come on. Okay. There we go. Man, it's every once in a while, it is so weird.
2, 1.
About jumping back and forth between mouse and keyboard. Or gamepad and keyboard, rather. Oh, that's the shockwave one. Yeah, we did see that one. I think that other one was that missile, the same kind of missile weapon we had earlier. So the main thing for this one is surviving. They say survive for 270 seconds, I think. I mean, being higher up in the ranking would be a good idea too. A little bit of a frame dip there, I think. A little bit of frame dippage. Not a lot of damage, but a little bit of disruption. And apparently the range is quite good.
Boost ready.
So we're in 5th place right now. Not too... Oh, okay, make that 6th. But still, we're doing okay. Hey, easy. Bonk. This game is very pretty. I'll admit the weapons feel not particularly punchy. The weapons don't feel like particularly like exciting necessarily. So while I'm glad that the weapons are there to kind of like mix up the you know, just turn it into like a vehicular combat kind of thing. They don't do a whole lot. They don't like add a whole lot to the overall feel of the game necessarily. At least they haven't so far. Maybe they will later on. Also, there's not really a lot of people around me right now. Oh, but I see, yeah, time remaining. Does that mean we made the cut already? Yes, yeah. Oh, I see, yeah. So-and-so's been eliminated. So, yes, we have to make... I think we just have to make sure we're above a certain threshold every time there's a new lap. And eventually we'll need to be in 1st place or else, I think is the idea. So I do see that fella. I do have a long-range loadout, so ideally it sounds like I might be able to reach him and blast his ass. Oh, he's dropping mines though. Sneaky boy. Double boost. Oh, I like that. Try to catch up this guy as much as I can. He's going very fast. Going fast is the name of the game. I can hit him. I'm not sure if it has like the seeking seeking juice that I seek. There he is. Oh, actually, that might be someone else. I'm mysteriously out of ammo. I might be lapping somebody. Actually, it's unclear to me. Oh, okay. Oh boy, that was unfortunate. Got completely stuck on the level. It came to a complete stop. Yeah, you can't avoid those things, but it doesn't do much damage, obviously. It's just a small disruption. But people continue to get eliminated. There's 4 people left, myself included. Like, starting to kind of creep up on that guy's ass. Boogity swooty. Was approaching the booty. Wouldn't launch this thing, but that was a bit of a Hail Mary. Yeah, wishful thinking. Get his ass. Yes, I'm in last place right now. Can I take this guy to the cleaners? This is where I ate shit last time. Oh my god, I'm just gonna miss all those opportunities. Just feeding him the mines that he's gonna use to slow my ass down. Oh my god, you're right. Give me something. Give me something here. I should have used the other one. The other weapon. Oh, but I did take the lead for the briefest of moments. Oh, but there's another one. Ooh, close. Ah, it's a little bit too slow. A little bit too slow. At least we kept it interesting at the very end, though. GG. Second place. Second place, not bad. So yeah, I guess you don't have to, like, win to pass one of these tutorials. You just have to play through it and demonstrate that you're somewhat capable, I guess. Alright, so that was, I guess, the last, like, new thing. Now it's time for just a regular old race. This time we're on our own. We can change our loadout accordingly. So, the default is nothing, which means, so I'll confess, I'm not sure what anti-gravity has to do with anything. If that, like, because there's no, we haven't really seen any jumps yet. So this one means your braking is really good, and your top speed is amazing, and your acceleration is as good as it gets. Handling stays the same, and defense is the same. So high speed sounds great. Agility. Yeah, maybe anti-gravity is like you're higher or lower to the ground, which like affects your handling, but then handling is a separate stat. So it's kind of unclear. Between that and having nothing selected, they're pretty similar. Defensive. Well, maybe anti-gravity is like your ability to take a hit and not get jostled. Drifter seems awful. Drifter just seems bad. And then there's the test ones. So we'll do the high speed one. We'll try the disruptive series of weapons. Gonna mix it up a little bit. Midtown traffic. Is that a dystopian Taco Bell in the distance I see? Unfortunately not. Unfortunately not as much as I wish that it was. I'm curious to unlock more weapons though. For the custom loadouts.
3, 2, 1.
Alright, it's your boy 6899714 coming at you. These nerds ain't ready. These nerds ain't ready for us. Keep bumping into that guy. A swoosh through here. Don't mind me, don't mind me. Woo, woo. My handling should be as good as it was earlier. Or as bad as it was earlier. I took a pretty big hit on the shield there, but that's okay. We get the shield regenerations. That guy slaps a mine. He feels really bad about it. I think I've yet to pick up a single weapon upgrade. Weapon pickup. There's one. We'll see what I have in a moment here. Oof. I think I placed a mine, maybe? Maybe that was a mine. Not a mime, but a mine. It's because I pressed a button and nothing happened. We probably launched something behind us. record! I wonder if there's anybody that plays this game online, because it's a fairly obscure one, I think, in the grand scheme of things. I mean, I'll confess, I had never heard about it until the review key opportunity jumped up, and I fell into my lap. I'm doing a great job picking up the shield pickups. I did get exploded. There we go. That's the gun. It's probably mines and guns, basically. Ouch. Speaking of mines. Oh, it might be the tether. Well, no, that would make sense because we were in range earlier. So I'm in the first place right now, which is pretty cool. That's where I was gonna say I thought I picked up ammo. But when I was right behind him, nothing was popping. I like the mascot on the side there, just off the racetrack there. Some kind of like big stuffed animal mascot there was in the. I thought it was Sonic for a second there. Some kind of mascot character, like some kind of extremely large float in a parade. That guy's still here, being a general shitter. Alright, so I do still have that. Yeah, the other weapon, I have no idea what the other weapon is. Oh, shit. And there we go. So we got the first place. My first dub, and it was, I guess, on the one that mattered. Yeah, place a mime on the battlefield. Can you imagine? With a mime explode on contact, so it's a mime mine. I think it's only fair. We won that by 0.1 seconds. 0.11 seconds. Still counts. Yeah. Yeah. Or even better, yeah, even better, it's they create an obstacle that explodes the enemy instantly. Keep trying and make the gold. Well, but I won that race. Is that the only one? You would think that's the only one that matters. The implication is probably you have to like get all these things to win the career. I think we're all set though. I think we're all set. Let's go into the F3000. What do you think the F stands for? Quicker learners than I thought you'd be, blah, 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 blah. Is there anything else? Yeah, career. Now, apparently we are earning credits as we're doing stuff. Actually, I'm kind of curious. Cosmetics. Can I make my guy look pretty? Create loadout. Loadout name. Make me pretty. Actually, since we know that special characters and white space characters are illegal, paint me like one of your, okay, yeah, too much. Make me pretty. There we go. Saved. So we got the Vixen. Can I, there we go, yeah. Saber, Python, the Dragon, and the Voxel. I like them all, but I'm kind of vibing with this one. With the Saber. Result in losing unsafe changes. That's fine. And then they got the light blue. It's kind of cool. The green is nice. Green's pretty cool. Yellow's pretty powerful. Pink, purple. There's like, ooh, there's the fancy ones, which are very expensive. Very expensive. They look pretty sick, though. They look pretty sick. Apparently, I already have these. Meth Lab is the name of this one. I'm not sure why I own these already, but I'm not complaining. Dub FX. Oh, these were the... Yeah, this was the music. Is that Sonic? I thought that was Sonic for a second. I got excited. So we get to, like, deck ourselves out based on our favorite featured musical artist. Actually, that's really cool. I like that one a lot. One's just called Land Cruiser. Maybe it's is it a Star Wars reference of some kind? Vigilante. I'm between this one and Fighter, but That one's pretty cool too, honestly. Like, that one's pretty cool, but that one's kind of basic. Let's go with this one just because it's kind of weird. All right, and then the orange exhaust. The green's kind of cool. Pink is very powerful. Purple. We'll do yellow. Rail. I mean, they all seem pretty cool, but we'll stick with the basic. And there's like extra fancy stuff. Yeah, you can light your guy up, which is kind of cool. Oh, that's sick. I think I'll just say none for now. What about the sides? Some guns or some blades. The blades are kind of cool. I like the blades. They're just cosmetic, obviously. And actually have a functionality that I can tell at least. So you can really make your guy. The Land Cruiser. It is absolutely a Star Wars reference. It absolutely is. Oh, it's a duck. It's like a demon duck called Quackers. Is it just like a? Is it like a textureless duck, or is the texture just very, very dark? I guess that one. And then the hood. Oh my god. So okay, now you can make the vehicles look silly. Cowboy hat, yeah. Yeah, it's one of those. It's one of those. You have two hats. Seeps into all walks of life, so it would seem. All goofy ass hats. You can make it look like a Land Cruiser from Star Wars. There's the Jester. There's the wizard hat. There's the vigilante one. Of course I'm gonna be a dumbass and go for the cowboy hat. How could I not? How could I not make my guy look like the cowboy hat? Oh wait, hold on. Wait, loadout. Did not save the loadout? I went through all that? Maybe it did. If I say like career, this thing, performance. Oh, so maybe you can't fuck with that in the career. Ah, I went through all that trouble. I spent all that time. All right, so what I will do is look at, yeah. Next. Oh, there we go. Yeah, they make me. Okay, so the make me pretty is there. Okay, so that's what matters. That's what matters. So, for the performance, I'm curious about the high speed one. Anti-gravity. Yeah, so we don't have a ton of these. So yeah, I don't even have this purchased yet. I'm not sure how we're using it. I guess it's built into the preset already. So I guess the presets are available, but we don't own the individual items yet. So I guess I won't fuck with that for now. Okay. Okay. So let's jump into the career mode then. On to the Grand Prix. Group of races. Try to get good. Don't suck dick unless you're, really confident that you're going to do a good job. And let's do... So last time I tried high speed. And I mean, we almost won. No, I think we did win. Yeah, we did win that one. So, so agility. So yeah, between none and agility, we get slightly worse braking and slightly better handling and acceleration, and slightly worse defense. Defensive is basically better braking, anti-gravity, and defense, but worse handling, top speed, and acceleration. Drifter seems pretty rough. All those bars are pretty low. So the high speed one seems like it's risk reward, I guess. I guess we'll try the agility one. Let's try the agility one and see how it feels. Disruptive. I don't actually know what the two weapons are. One of them I think is the standard gun, but I don't know what the other one is. I'm going to see if it's the mines. Actually, no, I'm going to do track control because that sounds cool. Yeah, the Buster Keaton one. Yeah, I want to say, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was more like a year and a half. Maybe it's not as long as I think it was, but it feels like it was quite some time ago. I think we've already done this level once before. It's a shame that in the career mode you're locked in on the one ship, because I would like the ability to customize in the career. No custom career for us.
2, 1, go.
I do appreciate at the beginning of the race when we're all clustered together. We're all clussied together. This is double boost. I'm not sure when you get a double boost. Maybe if you boost into another boost. Maybe that's what causes it. Seems like it's almost semi-random. Check one thing to make sure I have this other window set the way that I wanted to. Boop, boop. Okay, we're good. We are good. And I have to click into the window. Just kidding, I have to click out and then click in again. There we go. Somebody tried to bang me. They tried to flash me and tried to bang me. Kind of based, honestly. Oh! Not adjust your television sets. You're thinking to yourself, yo, Alex, you literally getting flashbang. It's like, yes, you and me both. So yes, the right weapon, I guess it's me dropping mines. Oh no, I didn't take the disruptive one. I took the track control weapon loadout. So I actually don't know what that one was. Okay, so that's the shockwave. We've seen that one before, but I've never used it before, I don't think. So there's another mine going off. Just pull ahead. Don't mind if I do. Just gonna squoose by. Just gonna squoose on by. Yeah, there's the Sonic the Hedgehog character in the background there. The shockwave is really, really close quarters. It's basically a melee weapon. And the right weapon, I have no idea what it does. I press it and I'm not sure what happens, if anything. So I wish the loadout would tell you what it is. Or if there's a way to tell, like, mid-level. Like, if I pause, does it say what my stuff is? Apparently we're in Georgia, by the way. The Jack Slicer? Is that what it is? The Jack Slicer? Is that a weapon? Oh, maybe that's the name of the song we're listening to. Maybe the artist is Rocket. Or Jack Slicer is... I don't know. It's hard to say. Final lap. We are in first place, although I'm getting slapped around by something. I think somebody has the cloak. That is the song. Okay, yeah. That would explain it. I'm looking for anything that tells me what the weapon is. Please, somebody's like slapping the shit out of me. I think someone's behind me and they're trying to tether me. Trying to tether me timbers. They're doing a very bad job. I put something down. I'm gonna guess that if I press the button and I don't know what it does, it's probably the landmine. I'm probably placing landmines. That's the shockwave. That's the melee weapon, basically. This is called track control. I'm a little bit surprised that the shockwave is considered a track control weapon. Oh, yeah, if you look closely when you press the right weapon with this particular loadout, you can actually see the landmine being held by your ship for just a very, very brief blip, like a really quick moment there. So that's exactly it. 26 overtakes. I guess that means like overtaking, which is to say passing someone up. I guess you could like grind out the points really well if you wanted to. You could farm the points by letting someone pass you and then pass them back up again. So there we go. Which one's the protagonist? The only one with the exclusively numeric screen name. By the way, we got No Mercy over on YouTube. Do I do Twitch? I do. You might have wondered. I got the hoodie on right now. So yes, I am on Twitch under Super Hobbit as my screen name, same as it is on YouTube. But I do multi-stream. I multi-stream to TikTok and YouTube and Twitch, Facebook, a couple of places. So I like to cast a fairly wide net when possible. But I'm happy to have people watching in any capacity. I'm not picky. Elephant Investments. Interesting mascot for your company. Big. Oh, is this a trash yard? Is this a scrap yard? I feel like there's an F-Zero GX level that has like takes place in the backdrop of some large scrap heap kind of level. I like it. Very Shadows of the Empire. There's a very iconic level in Shadows of the Empire that takes place on like a very long train ride through a like a scrapyard, which is really cool. It says some tight turns and some banging flashes. Also, we are locked in for I think the entirety of this Grand Prix with this loadout. So if you don't like the weapon loadout or the performance loadout that you have, then I got bad news. Now, that shockwave ability is pretty cool. It's a very good, like, get the fuck away from me kind of weapon. I would say if it were up to me, I would maybe take the shockwave. It's a really cool short-range option. And then give me a cool long-range option as well. Like maybe the Gatling gun or that missile weapon, the missile launcher. It's very, as the name would imply, it is indeed disruptive. It do be disrupting. Oh, I lost a lot of shield now. Oh my god, I just noticed. I'm getting shit on there. I'm getting shit on, and not in the good way. Ouch. Oh, it's the guy's gun. That's what that is. Oof. I took a risky move there trying to pick up the shield bonus. Yeah, I'm losing quite a bit of health. I think you get health slowly over time. Like, slowly on its own. Get a little bit more shield. I could be wrong, but it seems like, yeah, you get a little bit of juice. So I'm going to be prioritizing getting shield over anything. But I'm also going to prioritize knocking the shit out of the other guys. Yeah, their ability to hit me with those Gatling guns is not good. It's not a good thing for me. Not a good thing for people whose name is Alex. I can hold it together for the next lap. Oops. It's kind of fucky, especially given how fairly narrow the racetracks are. So yeah, if someone starts to pass you, ooh, he's gonna explode me. He's gonna kill me. Ooh, he's gonna kill me. Please don't.
Health low.
You don't say. You don't goddamn say. Yeah, they're just unloading on my ass. If you die, are you dead or do you respawn, I wonder? What if you respawn? Hopefully I won't need to find out. Hopefully I'm gonna play the game so well. I'm gonna be so fast. No one will ever be any the wiser. Hopefully the people in, fighting for second and third. Oh, I spoke too soon. I was gonna say, hopefully the people fighting for second and third place right now are just knocking the shit out of each other. And I limp past the finish line? We do. We limp past the finish line. There we go. I got chewed up real bad by that Gatling gun guy. Guess he was sad about the fact that I kept overtaking him and I kept shockwaving his ass into the side. Because, yeah, like I said, if someone tries to pass you, we got that shockwave ability. The tracks are so narrow, it's hard for that to not be in range. Basically, always. It's pretty ridiculous. 3 laps, 10 pilots as per the usual. We've done the Midtown traffic. That was one of the earlier tracks. Thinking of the song by Jimi Hendrix, Crosstown Traffic. So hard to get through to you.
3, 2, 1.
Have I established a nemesis yet? I'm not sure. I mean, I think the person that is in second place in the overall scheme of things has been in second place, like, consistently. I don't know if it's predetermined or if they're just really good or what, but yeah, I think there's a common trend. Or as racers that are, like, always doing pretty good and ones that are constantly getting shit on. Speaking of getting shit on, I'm just gonna blast those guys. Like, these races are a lot easier than the tutorial races. Those tutorial races,
Shield.
and they are draining my shield. Oh my! Oh, and okay, I did get hit by a mine just there.
Ready.
I'm getting fucked by those Gatling guns. And fucked by the Gatling guns. That just completely decimated my shield. So I think the loadout that I have just generally has less good shields. Oh my god, I'm bouncing into all the walls. Like it should be better than the top speed. I thought the top speed or high velocity, whatever it was called. I feel like that other loadout I was using earlier should have had even worse shield.
Shield critical.
Oh my god, I'm driving like garbage.
Health.
I'm dead. Yeah, these Gatling gun fellers are fucking brutal. Good news is when you die, you respawn pretty quickly, so it's not like the end of the world. And of course, I'm not really doing a lot of kills with that extremely annoying weapon, but it is disruptive. And again, the narrow corridor levels mean that, yeah, you can't really do much when you're getting targeted by that weapon. All you can do is just try to go fast and get away from them. It's not like you can be like, oh, let me just like take a quick turn or like hide behind something. Like there's no real third place, not too bad. Yeah, there's no real like obstacles to use at your disposal. All they can do is like hope to maybe there's like another racer you can use as cover.
Shield critical.
Gonna try to get that shield upgrade. Get that one too. Yeah, in this case, yeah, like he's targeting this other guy, this other bro.
Shield.
Thankfully, he's missing a whole bunch of his shots. And reach this guy. It'll have to involve me going pretty fast. Not with taking turns like that. Oh god. Oh god, please no. Please be nice. At this point, second place would be more than acceptable. Second place would be acceptable. Unless he slows down very suddenly. Yeah, I don't have any sort of long range. I have mines, which fires behind. Oh, maybe? Maybe? Oh, a little bit too slow. A little bit too slow. That's fine. Yeah, because it's essentially a melee weapon. That shockwave is very cool. It knocks the fuck out of them, but yeah, the range is quite limited. So, yes. So, Connigan is the one who keeps consistently getting second place, and they probably got first just there. So I think I have to, like, at least get second in this one. Oh, never mind. It's 3 races. It's 3 races. So I had to get third or better, I guess, that one. So you got the gold. Hell yeah. So I can do campaign, or campaign. So that was the track control. I'm curious about defensive. Let's go all defensive, I suppose. What? Oh, maybe it's per... Hold on. It's so weird that it's... Hold on, let me go back. Is it per loadout? That's a little weird. Oh, set... Okay, here we go. Set 1. I think. Part of your recent triumphs, like to offer you a contract. Hold on. Recent status. Yeah, so it's... Okay, so I guess... It's weird because it seemed like I had other things to select from earlier. I go back to agility... And track control is what it was. Okay, yeah. So I'm not sure what menu I stumbled into here. This just has me go through the same three races earlier. I'm not going to do that, but I'm curious about this set 1 deal. Set 1. What if your triumphs and offer you a contract? So we have different goals with each of these. So Yangs, Garuda, and Gagarin. Place higher than the Neumeier Tronica Novam team in every event. As they stole our thunder on our home turf, we want to embarrass them publicly. This one is complete each event in first place. Just get good. Alright, so no pressure. And then this one is achieve 2 destructions per event. That's hard to do. It's hard to do consistently. Let's go with this one. Then the Neumeier Tronics Novam team. I'll have to keep my eyes peeled to see what that entails. Proving grounds. If I just do good enough, then it'll all just work out. So now I guess we're like sporting the team threads accordingly. Now that we have this like sponsorship, this deal that has been reached. So I'm curious. Well, let's try defensive and defensive. Because I feel like for a game like this, like looking at the stats is one thing, but getting a feel for it is something else entirely. So let's go with that. Maybe I should have like looked ahead of time to see what the threads were going to be. How our car was going to, how our racecraft was going to look. And that would be the determining factor on which affiliation I would choose. Like, okay, yes, the benefits are one thing. The side, like the bonus goals are something else. But yeah, tell me how cool my ship is going to look. That's more important. There's a secret hidden mission to outrun the police in an electric car in real life. What's up, One-Legged Duck? What do I win? What do I win, One-Legged Duck, if I pull off this maneuver? I would love to know what the secret prize is. The secret hidden mission. Secret prize. So I want to know if you just hold A.
2, 1.
Is there any benefit or any downside to just gunning it right from the get-go? Or is it like Mario Kart where you have to like time the accelerator as you're charging up? I'm gonna get that thing. Alright, so I have cool little... Oh, that's the tether, which slurps their shield and restores mine. So a good slurp, a good suck. Everyone needs a good suck in their lives. And what's the other weapon, I wonder? The tether is one thing.
Boost ready.
Boost ready. Oh wait, there's the Kero boost, which they never told us about in the tutorial. Maybe they did in the very first tutorial and I just didn't see it. So the messages were kind of tucked away. Also, as great as this thing handles, the speed I think is just not very good because I'm consistently in last place. I wonder if maybe I should have picked a better load, a different loadout. I'm far enough behind where I'm not seeing nobody. I vaguely saw the vapor trail of somebody. Yeah, the boost is pretty limited. Yeah, so I think I should choose a different loadout. But it does feel pretty stable. So what do you win? You win a rotisserie chicken. Would that be a winner-winner chicken dinner? Sure sounds like it. And so whatever the weapon is, it's probably the landmine again. I think we get a lot of landmines. Because yeah, when I pressed the gun button, nothing happened. So that's now 3 loadouts that seem to be all about landmines as a second weapon type. Which is extremely boring. Oh, you're trying to suck me? Or I'll suck you then. We'll suck each other. It'll be very romantic. I'm not sure if how much damage it does to their health. You know, it depletes their shield. And I'm just barely now struggling to actually pass people up. Little by little, we're getting there, but it truly is little by little. It's entirely possible my guy doesn't even have a second weapon. Maybe it's just the one. Yeah, so when you tether them, it's damaging their shields for sure, but it doesn't really like knock them around. It's fucking them up, but it's not slowing them down. It's not disrupting them. The way that the gun is disruptive, and obviously the shockwave is like arguably the most disruptive out of all of them. They all have the same weapon. All 3 of us have that tether weapon, which is very annoying. But yeah, not particularly exciting. Yeah, so we placed horribly. That was not quite so effective, that one. So let's see if we can try that one again. We've failed our mission. Actually, we did outperform the Neumeier people. So we did outperform them at least. So I guess we achieved our secondary goal, which is cool, but not gonna cut it in the grand scheme of things. Yeah, place 8. Team goal is complete, but we gotta get good. So let's bounce out so that I can actually. I guess I just go back in here. Set 1. I guess we can choose again. Yeah, proving grounds. So defensive was cool, but maybe not our speed, unfortunately. So it's only lunch hours. Gotcha. We got Sneeko. What's up, Sneeko? It's good to see you, bud. It was enjoyable getting to raid you the other night. Yeah. Yeah, kind of like anti-grav. Yeah, kind of like F-Zero. It's a pretty cool little game. I'm liking it so far. We had a couple of technical snafus, but we're having a good time with it now. Pretty cool. And I'm thinking what I might do is, out of all of the weapon thingies, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back and customize my own loadout. Cause yeah, it's got like some F-Zero vibes. You mentioned, yeah, anti-grav, Wipeout, some of these other kind of futury, sci-fi, high-speed racing, arcade kinds of games. And this one's pretty cool, despite having a couple of technical snafus. We're still having a nice time with it. I'm going to can I rename this one? I'll create a loadout. I'm gonna give this one a real name because the other ones were like having a really hard time. Is there a way to like rename them or delete old loadouts? Oh, there we go. There we go. Delete. Yeah, just delete that one. Let's create one. I'll call this one like I'll call this one balanced. Balanced because I like the idea of something that is short range and also long range. So the nano rockets are cool. I don't know if I've seen the Gauss cannon because oh, maybe that's the same one. Shoves upon. So we use the pulse then. We use the pulse. We've seen the mine. Oh, maybe flashbang is what we were using earlier. That like stuns bad guys. Cloaking is cool. Tank protects aircraft from a single weapon hit. Swarm. Small explosive fired at an expanded opponent, which detonated once, which sounds cool. The shockwave is that. Yeah, okay, never mind. Yeah, that one's kind of boring. Explosive charges encircle your craft. I'm curious to try that one. That sounds cool. That one sounds cool. So that'll be a short range one, and then we'll do the Gauss cannon as a more long range one. No modifications for any of those. I could buy some. I feel like I should hold off for now because I'm not sure I'm gonna stick with these necessarily. Yeah, so we'll have that balanced one, and then set one. And yeah, we'll try Drifter just because I think it's the one I've yet to try. That balanced one. Let's jump in. I've mostly been sticking with the presets, but now we'll switch it up a little bit. The same track as earlier. The Drifter makes me think it'll do better with like taking turns, better performance with handling, that kind of thing.
3, 2, 1, go.
All right. See, earlier, oh wow, oh my gosh, this one feels like it's blasting ahead. Oh my god, because earlier the defensive build was cool and stable, but it wasn't very exciting when it came to going fast. Nor did it feel like it was going like it was eating ass. Wow, this feels very fast, but also very slippery. I feel like I'm sliding all over the place. It's quick, but I don't feel very confident in its handling. But it is quick. It's very, very fast. It's weird because I didn't think the like from a numbers perspective. Ooh, my god, this handling is rough. It is rough. But we can, you know, I'll try it though. I'm gonna try to. I'm trying to hold it together. The handling is not great, and it feels like kind of unstable. It feels like whenever you bump into a wall, you get jostled very easily. So there's a little energy sphere things which protect me. So this is the equivalent of the 3 green Koopa shells in Mario Kart. Oof. My guy do be struggling. My guy do be struggling a little bit. Can I at least defeat the one dudes? Because there was the kind of bonus objective to outplay those other fellers. If I can at least outperform those guys, then I'll make my employers happy. When they say Drifter, maybe the idea is like it's so slippery you have to make extremely frequent use of the air brakes to help you make those like tight turns. Otherwise, you'll be struggling a whole bunch. And that's Lunar Sketch. What's up, buddy? That's some friends of ours. And we got to do. We got the final lap coming in hot. Here we go. When we got to do the Sonic meetup, which was great. That's some friends of ours. So for those who know the Game and Browse folks, Lunar Sketch is some nice peeps. There's some mutual friends of ours. Some other cool folks. And yeah, we're playing Pacer. We're playing Pacer Classic, which is a pretty cool sci-fi racing kind of game. You know, think F-Zero, that kind of thing. It's enjoyable, but it's pretty tough. Oh god. Oh god. It's pretty tough, and I'm kind of getting shit on a little bit. I'm kind of getting a little bit shit on. But we're having a fun time, and we're trying out like different builds. We're trying out different race, like racer presets for our ship. And you know, despite getting shit on, I am in, what is that, 3rd place right now? I could be doing a lot worse. Okay, I say before I bounce into every wall ever. Alright, so overall we end up with, what was that, 4th place, 5th place. Yeah, I mean, we performed better than we did with the defensive build, but it was still kind of rough. Still kind of rough. Yeah, I definitely didn't feel confident with that one. We did outperform the other guys, as was our mission. And yeah, Luna Sketch, you beat me to the punch. I was about to ask if you had any clips you wanted to share. Because, you know, it's one of my favorite things to offer. But again, I really appreciate you popping in. It's good to see you as always. Yeah, so I think what I'll do is, let's try the high-speed one again. Yeah, the little energy sphere things were cool. But I think when the chips are down, I think I like that shockwave one just way too much. Like when you have the really cool shockwave weapon, there's really not much else that you need in life. So I think I will go from Electron to, I think it was called Pulse. Shoves opponents out of the way. Yeah, that's a very... It doesn't do much damage, I don't think, but it's very effective at being annoying. And I like that. I like being annoying to enemy combatants. And yes, we're getting some credits. Getting credit where credit is due. We're getting some credits as we're going through all this. As we're winning races, that kind of thing. When I say winning, I of course mean I of course recognize that yes, we maybe didn't we didn't exactly win that race, but we still managed. We still did something. I really want I would really like to be able to use my really cool custom cosmetic option with a cowboy hat and the blades on the side. I feel like that's awesome. And the game is really messing up by not letting me let my freak flag fly with my cowboy hat ship. That's really disappointing. Really disappointing. So let's try this one again. I think we got to get 1st place. And yeah, first over the line wins. I know we can do it. We got 5th place earlier. Let's try the high-speed performance preset and see how that goes. Yeah, is it F-Zero 64? It's like F-Zero GX, but with weapons, and admittedly not as tight controls, and definitely not as inventive racetrack design. The racetracks are cool. The track design is cool. And the aesthetic is cool. The graphics are fine. Like, the control scheme is fine. Like, none of it is bad. It's not as good as F-Zero GX, but that's a pretty high bar, obviously. But yeah, we got Irasi, who points out, I think you're right, Irasi. I think this is closer to Wipeout than it is F-Zero. And honestly, it looks and feels more like Wipeout than it does F-Zero. And I'm saying that as if I'm some Wipeout purist. I've actually never... I've played a little bit of Wipeout, but I never owned any of those games, so I'd be lying if I was, like, you know, trying to make it seem like I was an absolute expert. I'm pretty out of the loop when it comes to, you know, these kinds of arcadey racers, just because F-Zero was the one that I played the most. But I never played it a lot, and I definitely wasn't very good at it. But it is a cool little game. I am enjoying it. It's called Pacer. This is the classic edition of the game, because I think there was like some kind of situation where Pacer came out years ago, and then there was some kind of update that I guess, or some kind of alternate version of the game that people didn't like as much. So they re-released the original and called it, with some other upgrades, called it Pacer Classic. That's what we're playing. This race is a lot harder than the first several races were quite a bit easier. This one is... I'm having to get somewhat good. Trying to get good, easier said than done. Trying to get somewhat good. Yeah, I'm still struggling out here in 6th place. This keeps flashing us, man. People are flashing us. I mean, it's flattering. Flattering that people are flashing us so excitedly. And I appreciate the enthusiasm. I really do. My wife's not going to appreciate that, unfortunately.
boost.
Actually hoping I could switch off to the other weapon. No such dice. So yeah, the other weapon is way more effective at being annoying and knocking people off kilter. That shockwave maneuver, or I guess it's the pulse. Pulse is the one that I like so much.
Shield.
Final lap. To say we're all pulsing each other. I think like several people just use pulse all in one go. Is this guy almost dead? He is absolutely exactly dead. I took a life just now. Just killed a man. Put a gun against his head, pulled the trigger, now he's dead. So Netzer is the one who's in first place right now. Can I get his ass? Well, that depends because I feel like we're all pretty far away from this guy, but maybe. We'll see. A little bit of shield back. Ooh, shit. I'm bouncing off the walls here. That's a mine. I don't want to blow that up. I mean, I guess I could blow it up, but no reason to. No reason to. Oh, God. And now someone's taking a shit on me. Not the good kind, but an unenjoyable taking a shit on. The second place is probably what we're going to end up with.
Critical.
No, you don't. Look at that. Yeah, we managed to beat him off. We beat him off of us. He tried to get on top of me, and I beat him off. I successfully beat him off with both hands. The expansion pack for some N64. Oh yeah, the Switch N64. You're right. So actually, I've been kind of naughty. I'm definitely a Nintendo fanboy through and through, but I actually haven't played on my Switch in a long time, so I don't have any. I haven't like tried out any of the like Switch Online library in quite some time. But it would be fun to jump on that at some point. Yeah, play some F-Zero X or there's F-Zero GX. Yeah, with I guess the Switch 2 will have the GameCube Online stuff, which would be fun. Yeah, F-Zero X, yeah, on the Switch N64 online mode. Psygnosis Studio? Trying to resurrect Wipeout, okay. I wonder, so is that what this game was from? If it was like a spiritual successor to Wipeout? Because it seems like this game is, I'm guessing it's like kind of past its prime. I don't know how much of an online community this game has. This edition of the game is published by Longtail Games. And Longtail Games, I believe their main shtick is trying to maybe not resurrect, I don't think that's the right word, but trying to like take an IP that the original publisher has kind of abandoned and try to like build it back up again. So the concept of the long tail in like business sense is like, you know, yes, the sales of a product when it first pops up is going to be a big spike, but then like those sales will drop off over some time, and that drop off will eventually lead to more sales over time, and that larger number over time is referred to as the long tail. And like a graph, you know, this is like, you know, business 101. This isn't any sort of like trade secret thing. So I think Longtail Games, their main thing is trying to kind of help along an IP that, yeah, maybe is past its prime, but they still see value in it. They're trying to like keep it going. So I don't know. I don't want to read too much into it, obviously, but it wouldn't shock me if something this was, yeah, maybe a little bit obscure. The other studio that Irasi was talking about, from this other studio that attempted like a Wipeout reimagining. It doesn't shock me that it's a bit of a hard sell, because there's obviously people from back in the day that played Wipeout and enjoyed it, but it's still a little bit obscure in the grand scheme of things. And you know, maybe that's why Nintendo has held off on doing a new F-Zero game for so long, because for a lot of us, you know, we would love to see another F-Zero game, but maybe the reality is just like, man, like this kind of game doesn't do well, and maybe Nintendo has seen that and said, maybe someday, maybe, but they're not going out of the way for it because it's a hard one to, you know, to get people excited for. So I guess we performed well enough in the proving grounds. I guess we proved ourselves in the proving grounds. Maybe it's a top 3 kind of thing. Regardless, let's go into the sprint. Fastest lap wins. Someone can beat your time after you finish. So fastest lap is what we're looking for. All right. So should I stick with high speed? We could just go back to none. None is like still pretty good acceleration, not as good top speed, obviously. Pretty good braking. How's that compare to defensive? Where, yeah, we were struggling with defensive, and then of course agility we did okay. And Drifter I will never touch because yeah, I mean honestly, looking at the bar line, the bar charts there, Drifter just looks unimpressive. It seems like what you lose with the high speed, like the thing you lose, which really is the anti-gravity stat, is more than made up for the fact that by the fact that you get gigantic gains with braking, top speed, and acceleration. Seems like why use anything else, honestly. So yeah, Wipeout success. They made Wipeout 3 specifically. That's awesome. Yeah. Oh, you're right. This was a Kickstarter. You're absolutely right, Iros. This was a Kickstarter. Yeah. So yeah. So it sounds so Irossi, it sounds like you're a lot more familiar with kind of the background of this than I am, but that does make sense. I feel like I did when I first heard about this game, I did a little bit of Googling and I did land on the Kickstarter page. Or some kind of mention of the Kickstarter at least, yeah. And this game, I think, came out in 2017. So the Kickstarter probably would have been about 2015, 2016. So it had been a minute. Excuse me? What? What did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? I hit go. At least I tried to hit go, and everybody DNF'd. Everybody they did not DNF. Alright, let's try that again. That was very bizarre. What's up, Neo? It's like Gnosis. So they were the ones that made Wipeout, yeah. And that unfortunately went the way of the dodo. I'm gonna assume that was just a bug. That was very strange. That was very strange. We all got disqualified instantly.
3, 2, 1, go.
All right. There was like red text that appeared for like just a brief moment. Maybe I'm like fucking up. Maybe I'm like pressing the acceleration too early or something like that. This is very weird. We've seen a couple of bugs. We've seen, or I don't know. We've seen some behaviors from a technical standpoint that seemed odd. Some UI fuckery. The audio was being weird at first. Maybe the audio thing was on me. Maybe I clicked around too much.
3,
maybe I alt-sad without meaning to at one point.
Go.
This one's just bugged. You just cannot do this one, I guess. It's almost like there's some kind. So they were saying how like, oh yeah, if your lap time is not low enough, someone else can overtake yours. It almost makes me wonder if behind the scenes, all of our lap time is 0 at the start because we don't have a lap yet. So maybe because we're all having the same lap value at the start, maybe there's like something under the hood that is getting confused, and some logic gate is not behaving as it should. I don't know, but that's just not working, obviously. But wouldn't you know it, it says it's complete. We got first place. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, you can't see because I don't have a mouse, but yeah, you can see it says place first place. Hold up. Hold the goddamn phone. All right. 2,205 credits. I gotta check something. 2,205. 2,205. Hold up. 2,205. Hold up. I just want to see. Did we just unlock a big brain money printer? Did we just find a currency printer whereby pressing literally no buttons, am I about to get like a bajillion currency? Look, about no hands. What if it... Okay, hold on. I'll hold that in case it does work. Alright. Oh, but it says you get no credits. Oh, okay, so maybe... Okay, that's probably not it then. I thought it was a genius. I thought I was a genius at first. If I back out... Okay, you get 40. Never mind. I thought I was cooking. I thought I was cooking. I thought I was cooking. I'm opening the oven right now, and I forgot to turn it on. I thought I was cooking. The oven wasn't even on the whole damn time, so never mind. Fuck my shit, right? Alright, so let's do a firefight. This one won't bug out, right? This one won't bug out, yeah. They published Lemmings and a bunch of early PS1 games. That's awesome, man. I appreciate the background info, Ross. It's really cool. Programming and a harsh day of art. Well, I'm sorry to hear that the art was harsh. Usually it's the opposite. Usually for a lot of us, the programming grinds our brain down to a thin paste, and something artistic and creative is like refreshing and relieving. The one that when we were playing Cruising USA, that's I love those. I love those. Yeah, where we discovered some kind of ridiculous effect that was some kind of like cheaty, launch you a billion miles per hour into the finish line kind of effect. That was ridiculous. Yeah, this one was less fun because it was clearly a glitch. But now we get to break shit. We get to destroy things within the time limit, pass the targets to earn medals. Pass the targets to earn medals. Well, you know what? Maybe I don't want to go fast though. Maybe I should like have better defense. So to that end, I'm going to go for the defensive performance. How's that sound? Do I still want to do the Gatling? I mean, I guess we might as well just do the Gatling gun. Which does decent damage. I guess none of these really do that much damage. None of the weapons are like that explosive. I guess the missiles are pretty cool, but they're kind of hard to aim. The missiles are kind of hard to like reliably aim, whereas that like pulse gun, not the pulse, but the Gauss rifle is pretty consistent.
1, go.
A little bit of frame droppages there. Some frame droppages. Folks are doing some flash banging, some banging and some flashing. A good old time. It's good to see you though, Neo. Appreciate you popping in. It's good to see you again, as well, Irossi. And again, I really appreciate that background info. It's fascinating stuff. Hearing about these kinds of things and learning after the fact the games that I kind of suspected were inspiring this game in particular. But yeah, learning that it was most likely some folks that actually worked on the original, that worked on like the original Wipeout games, contributed to this game's development. It's unfortunate that there's been all these attempts to bring it back into the foray and that it's an uphill battle. But at the same time, it's not terribly surprising, unfortunately. You guys trying to give me the suck? I will give him the shoot. So I'm not doing as much damage as I would hope. Said you pass people to get the medals, but I think killing is more important. I think violence is more important than anything else. This guy right here is taking some big damage. And like just kind of bump him. I just bump him a little bit, a little bumping and grinding. He's smoking. Weapons are still kind of far and few between here. So I'm just gonna. Can I do like that melee attack? I think that did kill one of them. That melee attack, that pulse weapon. It doesn't do a ton of damage, but it did enough. He's giving me the suck, but the tether doesn't do a ton of damage though, honestly. It's annoying, but not quite as annoying as that Gauss rifle. That thing, for my money, is way more of a shitter kind of weapon. I'm not sure what I did. I think I pressed the wrong weapon. I think I did the pulse when I meant to do the main gun. Everyone's flashing me. Everyone's flashing all the damn time. I grab that one. I want the weapons. They're not being overly generous with the weapon drops here. Of course, I did just miss that one. That double pickup there. There we go. June bugs, right? It's that time of the year. Yep. Little like June bug fly thing just dropped down randomly. Yep. It do be that time of the year. It's better than that one time a goddamn house centipede like fell down in front of me. Fell down from the ceiling in front of me. Which was funny, but like very strange. I could grab that one. I've done some damage, but clearly not enough. These fucking nerds are still here. Just playing grab ass this whole time. They're not inviting me. to their reindeer grab ass games. Pretty not kind, if you ask me. Pretty selfish. Ouch. Did I not grab? Oh, I thought I had grabbed that weapon, but I have nothing to show for it. He still has his shield up, unfortunately. He's not smoking yet. The 3 other people have achieved kill. No, 2 other people have achieved kills so far. Yeah, he just got a shield recharge. Man, this is rough. I don't know how many... God, it says 8 kills. 8 kills gets the gold. Good lord. I'm gonna be here forever. I guess I need to pick up, like... I guess I need to choose a different weapon loadout or something, because it feels like all the weapons don't really do that much damage necessarily. Maybe I should try the pulse more? And the pulse doesn't seem to do much damage at all, but I guess it was enough to kill that one guy who was really low on health. In this case, yeah, I feel like I should be the obvious case. Yeah, okay, now he's smoking. Will this be enough to finish the job? Yes, it is. That's my second. Gonna be here for a while, though. My goodness. If you flash, you'll either banging or you're getting arrested. I mean, maybe both. Yeah, love them both as a kid. Always hoping for more of them. Yeah, I'm with you, Irasi. I'm with you. It would be nice. Yeah, but it makes me worried that the hesitancy of like Nintendo, you know, for instance, just as an example, and the struggle of the people that worked on the Wipeout series to like secure funding and resources to make more of their games. I'm guessing the focus groups or the marketing firms, however they've determined it, somehow it's been determined that, yeah, like there's just not as much of a crowd for this kind of game. I don't think the crowd doesn't exist, but yeah, I guess it's, for whatever reason, it's not what it used to be, and the cost to develop these games, I guess, is too much otherwise. It says track. It says track, and then it doesn't say what the track... Oh, it says new content. Oh, so we unlocked a new track. That's what that means. Okay, cool. And now we're about to play that new track. This is a standard race. We'll go back once again to the high speed. Stick with my balanced one. I think what I might do is go back to the garage and look at the weapons. So we'll stick with the pulse for sure. I think I might go with the nano rockets. I think we'll go with the nano rockets. So all the other ones are kind of low damage. The Gauss cannon is nice and is like kind of shitty to be on the receiving end against, but at least the rocket is pretty good damage. And we had that at one point. We had the one mod, yeah, the rail guided launch mod. We had that like just given to us for free, so I might as well grab that. Makes that a little bit easier. And we have a decent bit of money now, so if I wanted to, we could get something fancy like the twin shot. Fires 2 rockets, but sacrifices damage and auto tracking accuracy. That sounds kind of cool. Increased electrical charge. Just cool. Charge buildup allows an extra charge to be carried and deployed faster, but deals less damage. Reduces maximum hold time and impact. Small area and increase the force of the impact. Gust force, but affects a smaller area. This is less direct damage. Bypass shields to directly affect a target's health, which sounds pretty brutal. Let's do that one. Let's do that one. And then I could go wild with the twin shot. Let's go wild with the twin shot. I'm going weapon poor, but I'm fucking doing it. Fair and balanced. Fair and balanced is my build, all right. Still with the Yangs. And there we go. Traditional strategy games. They're trying to reinvent the wheel. And well, that's the thing though. Yeah, it does feel like there's a billion like maybe it's sometimes indie, other times like relatively small published but very successful strategy games out there. It's the gamers who are wrong. Yeah, traditional strategy. Well, I guess that's the thing. There's a lot of kinds of strategy games out there. So for me, there's a lot of what I would consider to be traditional strategy game styles out there. But yeah, like Command and Conquer, like that's probably like traditional strategy. And there's lots of that kind of thing available. In fact, I think there's a Command and Conquer inspired game that's going to be coming out pretty soon. Tempest Rising, I think is what it's called. And it looks pretty sick. So yeah, that's the thing. Like, if for whatever reason, you know, the big dogs determine that a certain game is not worth pursuing anymore, there's always the indie game developers or smaller published game makers that can potentially fill in the void. Because yeah, at least in the case of this kind of game, you know, this kind of gameplay style of like sci-fi, fast, spacecraft racing. Obviously, there's this in F-Zero, but yeah, Fast RMX, I've heard is really, really, really good. I've heard nothing but good things about Fast RMX. Redout, I've heard Redout is extremely cool. So, and these are you know, in both of those cases, those are made by smaller developers. I don't know if I'd call them necessarily indie games, because I think they still had like decently sized publishers, but certainly smaller than something than like a Nintendo developed game, obviously, or the Wipeout games for that matter. Ooh, we're going fast, all right. We do be going fast. Can I go up here and do one of these? Oh, I pressed the wrong button. I was gonna say that I want to use that pulse weapon because I upgraded them both to be extremely annoying. I suspect we'll be able to pull some crazy gamer shit like this. Bam. So it didn't like knock him back a whole lot, but it did a lot of damage, and apparently pierces his shields. Oh my god, I exploded his ass. So yeah, so now the rockets are amazing. I fire 2 of them, and they lock in like bosses. Hell yeah. That would be extremely annoying in PvP mode, no question. So now maybe I've just unlocked the fucking winning combination that like does crazy good damage all the time. Now the thing is, I'm sure the AI will also, as we get farther along to the races, the AI controlled racers will probably get like much better equipment as well. So they'll be able to throw high-powered, multi-tracking rockets at us that'll eat our health bars for breakfast. Remember when I played the Cursed Halo mod? We played that Cursed Halo mod, the newest version of the Cursed Halo mod, about a year or so ago, that had the Mario Kart sequence. And in the introduction to that Cursed Halo mod update that includes the Mario Kart sequence, there's the voiceover from Inferno Plus where he's like, "Welcome to Halo Kart." Here's like, this is like an alternate reality Halo experience. And he's like, what normally would be said in an instance like that is, let's meet all of the enemy combatants. So let's meet all of your fellow racers. What he instead said was, let's meet all of your fellow racists. It's like, all right, listen. Yes, we're racing. This is a racing game, but not that kind of race, bro. So sometimes the problem is like that part was like very funny, but the problem is that it infected my brain. So now sometimes when I'm saying like, yes, the enemy combatants, the enemy racers, I have to stop myself and not just be like, yeah, I really show those enemy racists, all right. I mean, I guess that's a hell of a way to like train my brain to say, yeah, it's morally correct for me to be blasting these guys' asses into oblivion. It's okay for me using my Gatling gun to fucking end these motherfuckers, because they're not just racers, these guys are racists, okay? It's okay for me to kill them, it's fine. That being said, I haven't seen anybody for a while because, again, I think we've kind of stumbled upon a build that is very strong, and also we have like a very high-performing preset for going fast. So as a result, I think we've pulled ahead pretty darn well, and whatever reason, we're just kind of cruising. We're just kind of cruising. And that is the finish. Finish! So Tempest Rising is already out. Okay, released a week by accident. Oh, it came out early. Good to know. Racing games hit a bit of a brick wall. I wouldn't disagree, Irossi. I mean, of course, Mario Kart always sells gangbusters, and yeah, like Gran Turismo and Forza, you know, tends to do well. But yeah, something arcadey like this usually isn't going to be touched by the big dogs. Usually that's going to be by the smaller developers and smaller published games. Indie is kind of misused. You're not wrong. Usually what I do is when I say indie, a lot of times I mean like a small publisher. What is usually referred to as indie usually means small publisher. Sometimes it is truly independent and a game is self-published. To me, that's what indie really means, is if a game is self-published. But yeah, I guess indie publisher, according to some, is a bit of an oxymoron. Also, Jet, good to see you, by the way, bud. Ambiguous aspect to the definition, yeah. Well, I mean, that's how it goes with a lot of things. You know, we were talking not too long ago about immersive sims and roguelikes versus roguelites. These labels, these definitions for things, it's easy for the lines to get blurred and for people in Reddit conversations to get into fights where they go, no, this one's a game, this one is a roguelite, it's not a like, no, fuck you, this one is a roguelite, it's not a roguelike, and then everyone, the rest of us are going like, bro, I just like Risk of Rain, like, I just like Spelunky, I just like Caves of Cut, can't I just enjoy these things without people just eating each other's entire butthole? Aggressive butthole eating. Elimination, when the timer runs out, last position, so we gotta go fast, but good. Go fast and good. Fast and good, that's what we're doing. Roguelite is also a roguelike, since it's a subgenre. I mean, it's to me, it's subjective. To me, it is subjective. There are people out there that would disagree. I'll say that much. I will not take a stance, because I've seen how those conversations go. Is a hot dog a sandwich, you know, that kind of thing. I've seen how that goes. I'll just say there are those out there who would disagree, but it is not, certainly not my place. It's certainly not my place to gatekeep or weigh in on what is the correct one, the correct opinion. Okay, so the earlier races, the earlier racists, the earlier tracks were pretty narrow. This one's especially narrow. Wowie-zowie, there's not much room to maneuver here. But okay, then it opens up a little bit. I guess that's one thing where if I had to critique, I would maybe, it'd be nice if there was a little bit more variety in like the shapes of the tracks. All the tracks do start to feel a little bit samesies. They look very pretty, and the settings visually are pretty distinct. But yeah, every single one is kind of a narrow corridor. There's not like obstacles to avoid. It's just narrow corridors with some kind of tight turns. Like that's a pretty tight turn, obviously. Like stuff like, you know, fairly tight turns, but not a whole lot of versatility and like variety, rather, not a whole lot of variety. And maybe there doesn't need to be. Maybe, you know, the simplicity is kind of what makes it cool, and it is really cool. But I would see that as being one thing that maybe if I, you know, gun to my head, say, well, Alex criticized the game, that's maybe a critique I would offer up. But that being said, I think that's how Wipeout was. I think Wipeout was kind of, yeah, like a narrow corridor racing kind of game. And to be fair, F-Zero wasn't exactly like huge in its scaling, you know, for how large the levels were. Oh, I fucking two-tapped his ass. But there was a little bit more, like, you had a little bit more room to maneuver. Of course, with F-Zero, you had a lot of racers. I don't know how many it was for Wipeout, but it felt like with F-Zero, it was quite a bunch. So getting into first place was a hard thing to do in the original F-Zero. Not even the original, but in F-Zero GX. And I guess X, but again, I guess I never really played enough X to say for sure. By the way, we're cruising right now. I don't know how far ahead of the next person we are, but we are very comfortably ahead enough where the elimination is not of our concern. Elimination is not of our concern. We're just cruising right now. I'm still bumping into walls every so often, so I know that's not exactly helping my case here, but no, that last race was pretty easy. This one is going pretty well too. But the only guy that was kind of able to challenge us, we fucking murked his ass. And of course, when you take somebody out, they do respawn. They only get eliminated in this case if they are, you know, too far behind, which is what A Glass just found out. Good old A Glass. Oh, you're still alive. Not for long if I can help it. Remember when I fucking murdered your ass earlier? That was pretty cool. You want to relive that delightful moment? We can make it happen. Like with how narrow this is gonna get, we're gonna be like rubbing butts and penises together in a little bit here. Here, so I'll try to hit the boosts. I'll try to use the boost to get through. Seems like they usually are alternating, except I went right in the middle there. There we go. And no motherfucker's gonna try something. I know he's gonna try. If you try to tell somebody that played Rogue back in the day that Spelunky is like Rogue, they'd shit their pants. Well, that is basically the, you know, the argument for and or against, you know, roguelite versus roguelike. Yeah, the idea of a game that has aspects of the game Rogue versus is a game very similar to the game Rogue. You know, that's what it comes down to. So yeah, the question is is every roguelite a roguelike? Is every roguelike a roguelite? You know, those kinds of things. I don't lose sleep over these kind of categorizations and this taxonomy. You know, to me, there is more subjectivity to these things than I think a lot of us sometimes want to admit. The case in point is, as again, you know, you get into a Reddit thread where this kind of conversation happens and it devolves into buffoonery in like 0.7 seconds. A game can be a shooter and a battle royale. It's not one or the other. I mean, to me they can be. I mean, there are non-shooter battle royales. You know, Bomberman. Bomberman is, I would argue, is a non-shooter battle royale, and of course, there's plenty of shooters there's plenty of shooters that are not battle royales. So, you know, one does not preclude the next necessarily. You're just cruising and you're being flashed. I mean, that is definitely in the start. In the start, you're getting flashed all the damn time. But yeah, but that I feel like 3/4 of that race, we were blasting along there, real easy. Roguelite is designed to be like a roguelike with permanency in the meta progression. Before it was a term that they were all roguelikes. Roguelite was designed to refer to a roguelike with permanency. Okay, so roguelite, so Ace, you're saying that roguelite predates games like Spelunky and that kind of thing? Because that's news to me. I thought that was like a relatively new term to describe like Risk of Rain, you know, these games that have some little blips, you know, like you know, permanent permadeath and the RNG aspect. You know, I assumed, I just assumed that was when I say relatively new, I mean like in the last 10, 15 years. That kind of new. Got the original composer for the soundtrack, that's pretty cool. Got the D&B, yeah, the drum and bass. Got a raid from Jorf. What's up, Jorf? Jorf is a person who plays a lot of cool retro games. I don't know if you've heard of this one, Jorf. This one might be up your alley. It's pretty cool. Jorf does a lot of cool retro games and retro-inspired games. Pretty cool. Mine destruction, by the way. Get ahead of the competition and turn them to dust with the mines. Well, I don't love using mines. So, the weapons are locked for this one. Weapons are locked for this one. A roguelike isn't necessarily a roguelite. It can't be a roguelite without being a roguelike. I don't think that is an absolute truth. I think there are those who would disagree. Ace, I think there are those that would disagree. Because there are those that say a game can't be a roguelike unless it is very, very similar to Rogue. So Caves of Cud is a roguelike for sure. Like, you know, no one questions that Caves of Cud is a roguelike, with a K, that is. So, or maybe that's not a good example, but it's, well, you know, Spelunky, I guess, is the thing, you know. So if we're saying that Spelunky can't be a roguelite without being a, yeah, it's like that's where I guess I get kind of twisted around too. So I don't know. It all comes back to I think there's wobbliness with these definitions. These goalposts have some wobbliness there, where any attempts to like ascribe an absolute, like an inarguable truth, it falls away because of the shifting sands just with these kinds of definitions. Yeah, roguelite isn't it? Yeah, I thought that was like a newer term. Yeah, exactly. Jorf, do you have any clips you want to share, by the way, bud? If there was anything you want to share, you can be my guest. This game is really cool. It's kind of like Wipeout. Apparently it was made by some of the same developers as the original Wipeout games. I think Wipeout 3 in particular. So if you ever played, you know, PS1 and maybe PS2, but definitely PS1 Wipeout, and you wanted something newer and sexier, this one's pretty sweet. One's pretty sweet. We've had a couple technical snafus. There was one race in particular where the goal is to get quick lap times, and the race does not work because the second you hit start, everybody DNFs all at the same time, and the race auto finishes. So it's a little. There's a couple of snafus, but it's pretty cool. I'm playing this through Longtail Games. Their Longtail Games launcher. I don't know if this is on Steam. I think there's some version of the game that's on Steam, but it's not this one. This is Pacer Classic. We gotta explode everyone's minds. We gotta, or not explode the mines. We have to blast people with the mines, which is gonna be a little bit tricky. I'm also gonna have to be on my best behavior to not blast into mines constantly, because they're kind of hard to see until you're like right on top of them. Did I not press the button? I pressed the button. Uh-oh. Maybe... I tried to, like, jump in front of that guy and drop a mine in front of them, and I pressed the button and nothing happened. Maybe I'm a big dumb. Maybe I have the dumb. It wouldn't be the first time.
Boost ready. New lap record.
There we go. I think we're good now. Yeah. So the goal is for us to get kills, but with a fairly limited weapon set. I can't just use the cool ass rocket launcher I was using earlier. I got to use a specific kind of weapon. But thank you again to Jorf for that raid. Yeah, Jorf is very much a variety man. The delightful amount of variety in the games he plays. It's always something different. It's always something like wildly different from the last thing I caught him stream. It's always very cool. And I know you've done some racing games, some like more arcadey kinds of racing games before, Jorf. So yeah, this one might be slightly up your alley if you haven't played it already. The number of times I've said, Jorf, you might like this one, he would be like, oh yeah, I streamed it the other day. It's like, oh, of course you did. He's from the future. He already knows the good games weeks, maybe even months, maybe even years before the rest of us do. Yeah, also, I haven't seen... So, apparently I've killed 2 dudes. If you look in the top left, apparently I've gotten 2 kills. It's new to me. News to me, rather. And I haven't seen an enemy mine at all. So, you know, I'm glad I'm causing death and mayhem. Yeah, I'm starting to notice now that when you have a mine that's usable, it doesn't always turn the bottom middle part orange. Like, it doesn't always show that it's being full necessarily. So I'm just like laying mines down every so often, and it's so far been a pretty good strategy. Okay, ignore the fact that I'm like banging into walls constantly. I think earlier we saw that, yes, ideally we're going for, I guess they want us to get 3 kills. So 1 more would put us on the map. But I think it's either get that number of kills in the top right, like the top amount, or complete a certain number of laps. I don't know what it is. The number, it might be 7. I mean, these laps are pretty short, things considered. It's just weird. It's weird to me that I haven't seen any enemy mines yet. I thought I'd be like slapping into all kinds of them, especially because we kind of pulled ahead from the rest of the competition. Well, that's not good. I see one other racer has gotten up to 2. If they get many more kills, I'm gonna feel real silly.
New lap record.
PB, a new PB. Thank you again to Jor for that raid. Very generous of you, buddy. Or, alternatively, if you didn't have any clips you want to share, but there was anything cool you're playing this week that you want to talk about, if there was anything you have queued up, you'll be playing soon, and you wanted to share and talk about it, and you're excited, that is also extremely acceptable. I do enjoy hearing what other kinds of cool things the homies are up to, the buds are up to. Still haven't gotten that third kill yet, but no one else has either. Got a double boost. Good. I'm going fast. Which I guess is good, but you know, this is an elimination round, so it's, or not elimination, but a like blow other bad guys up kind of round. So going fast isn't as important. I'm not gonna say no. I'm not gonna not go fast. Interesting how like the order of racers seems to be adjusting constantly, and it's not sorted by number of kills. Maybe it's the person who most recently got a kill. Maybe that's what gets popped to the top of the stack. So I guess that's a demonstration to say that I haven't gotten any kills in a while. I'm trying to pay close attention to that, but I'm also trying to lay down mines at every opportunity. Maybe I should be, if I fail this and I have to do it again, maybe I would take a different loadout, one that is just not as fast. So maybe going too fast is a problem here. When going fast goes wrong. When going fast comes back to bite you. I just noticed in the bottom right. Yeah, so I have one loaded up. Oh, interesting. Okay. In the bottom left and bottom right, there's little indicators that say how many charges of a weapon I have banked. Oh, there's a dude. Okay, so there's a guy. I guess if he's been ahead this whole time, maybe I'm about to lap him. It's hard to say, but at least it's something. I guess I could like try to shit on this guy if I'm really fancy. Okay, we got the event complete, and we tied with everybody else. So I guess we're okay. Roguelikes are similar to Rogue. Except for the separation of what you were saying earlier about like the permanence and that kind of thing. Oh no, oh you meant roguelites. Yeah, roguelites are similar. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, what was it again? We're saying that hold on, yeah. Sorry, I haven't fell behind. Also, I don't have a cursor right now. Go up a little bit. That's good to see you, Jorf. So you did play this back a while back. It was called Formula Fusion. Oh, I didn't realize that was the same game. That's good to know. I didn't realize they changed the name. I thought it was always called Pacer. And then like went through a couple of iterations where they did some kind of other version of the game. I'm not sure if it was free to play or something else, but there was some other attempt at doing something else with the IP, and it wasn't received well or something, and then they came back and said, let's just do what we were gonna do originally, but call it Pacer Classic, and that's what we're playing. Because I think there might be something on Steam, some kind of game that's not quite this, but it's like an older version that's not supported anymore. I don't know. It's a little bit unclear to me. And this was originally apparently a Kickstarter game specifically. Here we go. Yeah, so it was, yeah, a game cannot be a roguelite without being a roguelike. Yeah, that's one I have a hard time wrapping. I have a hard time seeing as an absolute truth. That is like always the case necessarily. all roguelites, L-I-T-E, were called likes, because that was the accepted term. Right, and that still happens. You'll still hear people say, like, Risk of Rain 2 is a really cool roguelike, you know, just because, you know, is it the correct term? Arguably not, but, it, you know, for better for worse, it is the, you know, a accepted term. Also, I seem to have lost my ability to hit things again. Click out of the window and click back in. Oh boy. Okay. Enter. Restart. Nope. Okay. Yep. This happened earlier too, where we lost focus, and we tried to regain focus, and it wouldn't let us, and we had to restart the game. We had to close the game. Yeah, but it was called Formula Fusion. It can't be a roguelike with meta progression if it isn't first a roguelike. So you're saying that a roguelite needs meta progression? Is that what you're saying? Because I don't think roguelikes need meta progression necessarily. There's plenty of cases of roguelites that don't have meta progression. Oh, okay, there we go. Okay, now I've regained it. There we go. The argument gets nitpicky. That absolutely, yeah. That is exactly it. That is exactly it. Usually more relaxed permadeath, right? Right. A roguelite isn't modeled on rogue. You can't argue a roguelite is not modeled on rogue. But that's just a definition of a like. Well, that's just it. I don't think necessarily a game like Spelunky is modeled off of rogue. So that's why they got that separate designation. To me, that's what the light part is. Like, you know, I think of Spelunky when I think of Risk of Rain. I don't think the devs were thinking of rogue. I think they were saying, like, we want a couple of little things, you know, a couple of these kinds of parameters that this subgenre of a subgenre has, this designation has, but I don't think they're going for rogue necessarily. It's modeled on rogue, that's why it has rogue in the name. I mean, I suppose if, like, you know, if because rogue was the, you know, was, I presume was the first, if not one of the first ones to do something like permadeath and, you know, the I guess procedural generation. I've never actually played rogue, so I can't say. I mean, I guess you could make that argument. It's just, to me, it's not what any of us ever think of when we see Spelunky, when we see Risk of Rain, when we see Horror Keeper. You know, it's like, it's in the name, yeah, but like that's why we have the two designations. For me, it's like, if we're gonna say it has to, you know, be, it has to have rogue in mind. I would question if, like, you know, if all the people that have played, you know, Risk of Rain 2, if they've even heard of rogue, if they would even know rogue as a game. It's a game I've never laid eyes on. You know, it's not exactly a, you know, just despite it having this presence in like a designation. I don't know if genre is the right word, but like this designation of the game, I'm not sure that it's like enough of a, you know, if it has enough presence to say that it's like, you know, the inspiration necessarily. It's like, it's almost like it's forked off into its own kind of designation, like, you know, the Binding of Isaac, that kind of thing. Not being a roguelite or a roguelike. No, I'm saying the light, L-I-T-E or L-I-G-H-T, is like kind of its own spin-off. Like, I'm saying that there's overlap, yes, but I don't know if they necessarily need to be like there needs to be like a permanent link between the two of them, basically. What I'm getting. Look on the definitions. The light is so because to me that what you described is like L-I-K-E, not L-I-G-H-T. If it's based on rogue, like something like Caves of Cud, where it's very obvious the rogue inspiration, then we call it the K-E. They don't call it a rogue Well, no, they wouldn't call that. Yeah, to me, it's yeah, it gets the KE roguelike. That's the one where it's like if it's very obviously a rogue inspiration. Rift Wizard 2, well, maybe not Rift Wizard 2, but yeah, Caves of Cut for me is like the go-to. NetHack is a good example. NetHack as a this is absolutely a game that is modeled and plays very explicitly after Rogue. Then it's the KE. Games agreed to be roguelites exist from before the term and were also called like because they were based on Rogue. So you're saying that they're both based off of Rogue. And the light just means metaprogression. Man, that's a very novel way of considering this genre. I had never considered that before. I'd never considered that designation before. Yeah, that's a very novel way of looking at it. Yeah, it's not a bad one. It's not an incorrect one. It's just one I've never encountered before. That's a very the requirement for meta progression is an interesting one. That's what the people say. This is a very familiar conversation, Ace, where Ace says, "Trust me, bro. Look it up online. Trust me, bro." And all I can do is go, "All right, I'll take your word for it." All I can do is go, "All right." that's you know, to me these things smell like opinions, and not like you know a like objective like this is the end all be all. But you know, it's similar to the conversation. You know, the last one was about the question of immersive sims. You know, what defines an immersive sim? And you know, to me it was a little bit. It depends. And apparently I'm wrong. And Ace made a very confident argument to say it is not wobbly and it is extremely defined. And to that I was like, all right, I'll have to take your word for it, because I had never encountered a robust like end all be all definition for it. The times when I had engaged with that kind of conversation topic, people would devolve into disagreements, and at the end of it, people throw their hands in the air. They go, after you know this Reddit thread, after this YouTube conversation topic has gone off the rails, you know, none of us have gotten any closer to an absolute truth, and we're all frustrated, and you know, that's just the way it is. And you know, that's one where it's like, well, that's how it had gone previously, and I'd never engaged with it beyond those interactions, and it had been a couple years. So this might be yet another case where Ace is just, you might just be more on the up and up than I am. But yeah, last I had heard there, I was truly not aware of any sort of you know, universally agreed upon like it needs to have meta progression to be a light LITE. As like an example, as like the separating factor, basically. Because I think of games like Noita. I guess in all fairness, you could make the argument that Noita has meta progression. I suppose you could make the argument because you don't get better stuff. You don't, your runs don't get better as you complete objectives, that kind of thing. You don't get stronger. But you do, there are additional spells that you get access to. So you have like more builds, but it's definitely not better. So like that's one where it's like, I guess it depends on what the meta progression truly entails. So yes, that's it. That's one that is that's a novel one to me. By the way, my health is real low. Oh, and there's the mine that I just ate shit on. Another double boost. Alright, so we are... Oh, that is the final lap, though. Uh-oh. This whole time I thought I was in, like, first or second place. Turns out I've been in third place. Like, I was gonna say, yeah, that's not gonna quite cut it. It's not gonna quite cut it. Defined, yeah. Oh, it's being defined by the collective. Yeah, I guess I'm just unfamiliar, like, what the collective is, then. Pretty sure we've had this conversation before. We probably have, and maybe this is, yeah, maybe it's just me forgetting what the conclusion of it was, as I didn't think that there was a conclusion. I didn't think there was like a definitive one. Maybe it's come up in one of our previous things. So it needs, so okay, so this is yet again another instance where I just might be the odd man out here. I totally might be the odd man out and be the only person that didn't realize that it needs meta progression. It's so bizarre to me, though. It's so bizarre to me to think that that's like the defining factor. Because when I think of roguelite, I just think, it's got like, you know, probably permadeath. There's some procedural generation. You're like bolting things on yourself, you know, that kind of thing. There's plenty of people out there that don't like meta progression, or at least they don't like certain kinds of meta progression. So that's always why I just considered, like, well, yeah, there's roguelites that just don't, that either dispense with it entirely or don't engage with it as much. I got Fleshette now, so what's up, Fleshette? Call of Duty is, yeah, if it's a first-person shooter, it's a Doom clone. So I placed 5th, so I think I need to do 3rd or better. Probably 3rd or better. This is just a standard race, right? The season finale? Yeah, it's just a standard race. Nothing fancy. Stick with the same build. The simulation? Well, we were talking about immersive sims. Yeah. Look it up online. Have a hard time finding. Yeah, that's what was familiar to me. That was the crux of the last time we've been down this road. Roguelite is usually a like on easy mode. I mean, they usually are easier. I mean, roguelike games that are reminiscent of the game Rogue, something like Kids of Cud, is going to be a tougher game. Usually there's going to be quite a bit of a learning curve, and they can be intimidating. Dwarf Fortress is, well, I guess the adventure mode in Dwarf Fortress is a good example of that, where, yeah, the learning curve, I mean, Dwarf Fortress, it doesn't so much have a learning curve as it has a learning cliff that requires months of planning and mountaineering gear and traveling rations. You know, it's that's the hardness or the difficulty, I suppose, is so oftentimes just learning the ropes and learning the systems and even just playing the game, because again, Dwarf Fortress is like kind of hard to know what you're looking at the first couple times you play it. Caves of Cut has some of that to a degree, but probably not as hardcore. There are roguelites, games that I would consider to be L-I-T-E, light, that are also pretty tough. But usually those are tough just because, like, just the game is just inherently just a little more challenging. It just expects more of you. The game we played, what was it, last night we played Lone Star? That one was pretty fair. That one was pretty fair. But, yeah, we played Hyperlight Breaker, and that game, Jesus Christ, that game, yeah, is brutal. That game is totally brutal. But very enjoyable. I mean, I very much enjoyed it. But yeah, that game was anything but easy. So, So yeah, I would say by and large, though, that's probably correct. That yeah, a lot of the lights, LITE, will tend to be a little bit less brutal. At least they'll be easier to pick up and play. Seems like that's generally how it goes. At least they're easier to pick up and play. Yeah, something like Spelunky. If you've never played like a game of that style before, you've probably played Mario. You know, you played some kind of 2D platformer, so you'll know enough to be dangerous. But I guess that's one thing that kind of comes to mind. Does anybody know if Spelunky has meta progression? I guess the answer is technically, because you can unlock the shortcuts. The problem is the shortcuts, I'm not so sure I consider that progression. Because the shortcuts, in my experience, make it worse for you. Because, like, yes, you can skip some biomes, which is cool, but then you start that biome with no money. So maybe it's a playstyle preference, and maybe that's what it comes down to. It's like you're opening up playstyle options. To me, I don't consider that progression, though. Just using Spelunky as an example. Maybe there are people, I mean, probably speedrunners, but maybe there's even, like, regular peeps that, when they're playing something like Spelunky 1 or 2, they're gunning for the upgrade, the shortcuts quickly. Like, they gun for the shortcuts because, yeah, they just don't like this one biome, so it's just their preference to skip. Well, you can't just pick and choose. You can't just skip a biome you don't like. You have to skip them in order. So you have to skip the first one. And the first biome is obviously the easiest, and that's the best way to, you know, score yourself some money and some early equipment. So you're putting yourself behind the 8 ball on that one. So yeah, to me it's almost like you're playing in hard mode in that instance. But I digress. Like I guess I could see the argument that that's still considered progression, even though it's not like a linear progression. It's in some ways it's a go in the opposite direction, but it's something you can unlock. It's something you can unlock. Maybe that's the idea. I haven't played Dwarf Fortress. Well, the standard mode for Dwarf Fortress is more of a colony management. You know, you're managing the fortress, you're managing the colony. The adventure mode is very much akin to Rogue or NetHack, those kinds of games. That is the adventure mode, which has not been around as much as the standard fortress mode. One called Metallic Child. Metallic Child, I can know that one. Okay, Google search. Oh, except got my cursor. There we go. I like this game, but this game kind of steps on itself a little bit with its with like the weird technical limitations. It's like when you're in the matches, the game plays really well, but outside the matches, the game really struggles. Like UI stuff and the weird audio bug we had earlier. So yeah, I do like this game, I do, but it's a shame that there's like a couple things about it that make playing it a little bit tricky to slap together sometimes. But anyway, yeah, Metallic Child. So I did a quick Google search or Steam search rather. Yeah, that one does look very cool. I've never seen it before, but that one is pretty cool. Yeah, the shortcuts and Spelunky. Yeah, that's how I feel. When I see them, I don't consider them like progress, but it's an alternate option. I guess that counts. And of course, well, I guess I don't know how 2 does it. I know with 1, you have to spend the money or the resources, you know, the bombs, and those upgrades stay present. It's not like beat the game and you unlock the thing. It's give this guy 4 bombs and in this one area and he'll unlock it for you. So like that it's almost like if it was yeah, spend 4 bombs, you find this one guy in the wild, spend 4 bombs and he increases your max health. Okay, that's obviously meta progression. Or he gives your whip an extra length, extra girth, you know what, extra damage, whatever. That's obviously meta progression. So maybe like unlocking an area, even though it's something we don't consider to be progress, it's still permanently doing something to the world and or yourself that would still be considered meta progression. So like you could make the argument, but it's an awfully wobbly one for Spelunky. And to me, that's like the poster child of the light. So I think that's why I'm still having a hard time like seeing this like requirement as like an absolute truth, like this has to happen for it to be considered, versus a like a sometimes or even a most of the time. That's what I have a hard time with, I think. I do love Spelunky. Yeah. It's a checkpoint. Is it a checkpoint though? That's the thing. Yeah, that's a tricky one. Is it bad meta progression or is meta progression that impedes you? Does that still count? Try again and make the silver. Oh man, so it's still alright, so third is good. Silver is probably the minimum. I think we can do it. I think we can do the silver. I think we can do that shit. Yeah, the Robot Master. Yeah, I did a quick perusal, Jet. It looks really cool. It does look really cool. There was the secret. Oh yeah, the show. That's a Netflix show, right? That's a Netflix show. Yeah, well, I don't know if it's Netflix, but it's some kind of streaming site show. I know of it. I've never actually watched the show.
3, 2.
I've never actually watched it, but I know what you're referring to. And I've heard there's one about Spelunky that's really good. Also, Agassi, you're right. I got the redemption for you, so we'll do that after this one. I'm real confident that I'm not gonna suck dick this time. Well, I mean, you know, the night is young. I shouldn't count my dick sucking eggs before they hatch, but I'm feeling real confident. Feeling real confident that we got this shit. I keep wanting to like look to see how far behind I am, you know, how many places we are behind. I gotta be using the rocket more willy-nilly, because like usually if I'm using that pulse weapon to slap the guys around me, it's cool, but the guys around me are not usually as much of an issue versus the dudes in front of me. I feel like maybe the rocket should be more the offensive weapon, and then the pulse, that melee weapon that I like so much, I should be using that as like a defense. Alright, okay, I'll use it there because that guy's being a dick, but use that's like someone's about to pass me, I'm gonna prevent them from doing so and make their day infinitely worse. Just blasted that guy. When I get in range to use it again, he's just a little bit too far. It's a shame that you sometimes lose the lock visually, but the lock is still obviously there. Ooh, I did kill him. I was gonna say if I can snag him before he gets past me. How many laps do I have? I think we have 3 laps? I think we have 3 laps. Any weapons right now? Just bouncing off the walls. Bouncing off the walls again. Mines, yep. So I need... That's the 3rd place guy. If I can... Oh, the 4th place guy is resurrected. Because if I can pass him, I'll be exactly where we were at the end of the previous one. Oh, he got fucking exploded. All right, well, that makes part of my job easier. Go up a little bit.
Shield.
Ooh, he slapped me real good too, though. It's a double slappage. It'd be really cool if I could kill his ass. That'd be really cool if I could just end his entire career. Ooh, I was gonna say, yeah, that curve was unfortunate. Dangerous curves.
Shield.
Ouch. My shield is dead. No, it's not dead, but it's awfully sad looking. But I am in first place. I'm in first place, and that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Is this the last race? The last lap? This begins the final lap. So now...
Shield. No.
Ouch. The chromatic aberration that gets applied when you're getting slapped by that Gauss rifle. Like, yes, as a human player, it's disruptive, all right. But the AI characters, they don't gotta worry. They don't need to see with their eyeballs. They got, you know, they're an AI controlled player. They're dialed in. They're dialed in with, like, you know, the way they're part of the game already. They got their brains fully attached to the game's systems as it is. They don't need to use this stupid ass ocular thing. Ocular things attached to their skulls like I do. So I wonder if, like, in the case of, yeah, that disruption that happens, that visual disruption, if there's some other representation that says like, you know, screws over the AI player in some way. Same thing with the flashbang, I'd say. Like, how would the flashbang affect AI control players? Maybe the idea is it just makes them wobbly. They just like run into a wall artificially or something. But that was always something that bothered me, like in Mario Kart, I guess 7 and beyond. The squid ink. The squid ink, of course, can screw you over when you're a human player, but AI players, like, they don't gotta give a shit about this. Like, they need some kind of way to artificially affect them to make it feel like their eyeballs, their little eyes are sag. Yeah. Yeah, but that's a really good one, though. Yeah. But it's really short. Well, I'm not gonna say that all good things are short, but I will imply it heavily. Keep trying and make the gold. So you have to get gold. Oh, no, I did get gold. What do you mean? What do you mean try for the gold? Unless they mean, like, you have to... Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, I think what they mean is so you have to go for all 3 of them. So we beat the first one. Because there were 3 names here. So I guess the idea is... Okay, you did great with that one, but now... Yeah. Now you have to do another series of challenges with these 3 families, these 3 contracts, these 2 contracts as well. So it's not like you pick one path and you're set down that path and you're like locked in. It's just 3 series of challenges. Oddly enough, it's called set 1. I guess the idea is it's a set of 3 and you have to do all 3 before you unlock set 2. It's another set of contracts where you have obviously go fast and do well with the racing, but also these bonus challenges, which is to say, with these guys, you got to kill. What was it? 2 racers per level. Yeah. Oh, it's at the top. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, 2 destructions, and then this one is just get first place every time. That one's obviously not that creative. That's interesting. I like the idea of like having some bonus objectives and being rewarded for them. They tell you ahead of time there's 5 of them here, 7 of them there. I like the idea of that. I would hope that as you get further along in the career, that those meta options, or not meta, but like those bonus options gain more like weirdness, like more weird options, instead of just like get first place a bunch and kill dudes. It's like, I don't know, specifically use the mines to do something or like deny so many racers who are trying to pass you with the pulse weapon, like that kind of thing. Some of those a bit more case specific. But anywho, I think that is gonna do it. This game is good. It's like I was saying earlier, like the game when you're in the races feels pretty good. It's a little bit more simple than something like F-Zero. Not that that's a bad thing, and in that simplicity can be, you know, creativity can very much flourish. The fairly narrow and kind of, I don't want to say the tracks look same because they look very pretty, but they all behave around kind of the same. Some of them get kind of narrow, some of them have some tight turns, but yeah, it's like, you know, you're on these narrow, fairly narrow, you know, routes, these canals, and in all fairness, you do have that in F-Zero GX for sure. You know, that to me is like the game that is probably the closest analog to this one is F-Zero GX. And that's probably an unfair comparison because F-Zero GX sets the bar very high, and that's, of course, was made by a big publisher. Well, a big developer and was paid for by a big publisher. But yeah, I'm a little bit sad there's not quite that much diversity like with the tracks themselves. But I like how you get to customize yourself. The weapons are kind of cool. I was saying earlier how the weapons were just kind of at first, but once you unlock those bonus upgrades, they do get pretty destructive. So I would hope that the AI get really juicy weapons to kind of match your freak. Because yeah, when you're getting the juicy weapons, I'm hoping that theirs also get juicy for the later sets. Probably set 2 is when that starts to open up a bit more. But this is good. This is good. I'm going to do a quick search on Steam because I was saying how I think there is some kind of Pacer game. Yeah, so the original Pacer is on Steam. A Pacer, I don't think this is the same thing. I mean, it looks awfully similar. Looks awfully similar to the thing we just played, right? But I think there is some kind of difference between this and the one that we played. For one thing, it's okay. So this was self-published. R8 Games. Yeah. The re-release is really good. I'm curious. Any mention of classic? Mention of classic. Boop. Here we go. Apart from the class. Oh, never mind. Okay, yeah. I was just curious if there's any description of like how is this different from what we played. There is a Discord server, which is nice. Okay. Interesting stuff. Interesting how that kind of thing plays out. Where yeah, it's like a single game can have multiple, I guess, end products. So, you know, different forks, I guess. Spelunky is tagged as a roguelike with a KE. That's so interesting to me because to me that's like the poster child of the LITE. That to me was the first game where it made me question like, wait, there's a game called Rogue. Well, this is nothing like that game. Like that's kind of what started that whole thing. Rogue Legacy was called a light. Yeah, that one makes sense to me. Absolutely, that one makes sense to me. Wish this game had more maneuvers. That is a big one. That is a big one because yeah, like a good example was on one of like maybe the third or fourth race when I'm ahead of this one dude and he's just pegging me constantly. I'm getting pegged from behind. My backside is getting pegged. I'm getting pegged from behind. I'm getting pegged. I know it's easy. It's an easy joke. But yeah, there's the dude that's like pegging me constantly with the Gatling gun. What was it called? Not the pulse gun, but the Gauss rifle. The Gauss rifle. And he's just chipping away at my health, and I can't pull away fast enough because my aircraft isn't fast enough, so I'm not able to get far enough away, and I don't have anything to fire behind me. So after a certain point, I die because he's just chipping away at me over and over. I can't like outmaneuver him because it's such a narrow, fairly linear racetrack. So yeah, it's like if there were like ways for like Ace's saying, if I could like pull some kind of cool maneuver or duck behind something, or if there were obstacles that you have to get around. There was a little bit of that in F-Zero GX, probably not as much as I think that there were. I think those tracks in that game were also like fairly linear and fairly narrow. It's like I think of like some of the race tracks on that level, and they were pretty wide at least, which was cool. Like some of them at least. Yeah, I'm like do a quick Google search. I'm curious if anything jumps to mind. Yeah, like there probably wasn't much for obstacles at least, but at least there were different shapes. At least there were different shapes. But I shouldn't harp on this too much because F-Zero GX is gonna set the bar too high. Obviously, how could it not? Yeah, the pipe level, like I love that one. But yeah, like you had the narrow, fairly narrow passages as well. The one thing is that there was a lot of racers, and the racers felt very small. I remember feeling like, and that's not like a dig. That's not me saying that that's bad, but I remember feeling like, yeah, like how you'd go to pass somebody, and if you tried to do the melee hit, the little spin melee hit thing, it was kind of hard to pull off because like the tracks feel quite large, and you're this like teensy little baby craft, relatively speaking. And this makes me want to play F-Zero GX. I do own a physical copy. I do own a physical copy, so we could make that happen at some point. And of course, it's gonna come out on the Switch too, as part of the Switch GameCube online service. I don't think I'm gonna get a Switch 2 like right at launch. For one thing, you know, $450, that's not cheap. And we got this Japan trip coming in hot. You know, we got this Japan trip that we're planning, which will inevitably be expensive. I mean, we've already done the big expenses. We've already put money down for the Airbnb and for the flight. Obviously, that's a lot of money on its own. And I've heard that like food there and like clothing, like that stuff in Japan is not that expensive, relatively speaking. But still, it's like, you know, we've got this big trip coming up, so it's like I'm trying to like, you know, properly not do any like ridiculous purchases right before. So it's like I probably won't buy a Switch 2 right at the start. I'll probably wait for a bit. And Lord knows I have plenty of other games to play. So I've got an already unhealthily sized backlog and backlog for that matter. Yeah, some extra maneuvers would be, yeah, it would definitely help. But I guess that's the thing. I guess the simplicity of this game is part of the, the beauty. The beauty of it is the simplicity. And I'm guessing, I don't think Wipeout had a lot of like fancy schmancy maneuvers. I think Wipeout had, I think they had weapons. And I think they had, yeah, the air braking system where you could kind of bank left, bank right to help you make sharp turns. And I think that was about it. So I guess that's the thing too. If they have the archetype, maybe an archetype isn't the right word, but they have the inspiration and they're doing the spiritual succession beyond that. I guess that's like, if we stray too far, from God's light, then we're always going to be in darkness. If we stray too far from the light of Wipeout, probably Wipeout 3 specifically, since that's the game that some of the devs there had worked on previously. That does make sense.